Hello, Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Azka, and today we are going to solve the A levels business paper 4, May June 2024, variant 1. So this is the summary of the paper I've written here. You can just read and you can just have an idea that how we are going to solve this paper and what are the key features of the case study, what are the key problems, and what is the whole case study in short form. So we are going to discuss, first of all, you can see the summary of this case study, and after that you will see that I have written the um, answer for both question, part A and part B, question number 1 and question number 2. Okay, so this is the case study is about LC, the company's name. So LC is a US based luxury car manufacturer, which is known for using premium materials and offering affordable luxury. The company's main markets are in US and Europe, and with a historical focus on meeting distinct regional needs. So this is the timeline and the key events which happen in different um, years. So in 2009 to 2013, what happened in LC? So LC struggles to recover from the global financial crisis with reduced consumers' disposable incomes. And if the consumer disposable income is decreasing, so it means that they cannot afford these luxury cars. And in 2014, what happened? John Pedro is appointed as a new CEO, and his focus is on cost cutting and increasing dividends to shareholders. Of course, if somehow they can cut costs, so it means that they can maybe give the lower prices for most of their cars to the consumers, because disposable income was decreasing in 9 to 13, and they also want to increase the dividends to shareholders so that maximum number of investors should invest their money into their business so that they can expand and they can somehow cut cost and they can do whatever they want to do. And in 2015, what happened? LC changes its organizational structure from geographical to functional areas. So as you can see in the case study, that their main markets are in US and Europe, and with a historical focus on meeting distinct regional needs. So they just want to make sure that they can, fulfill the needs of the customer on region basis. So that's why what happened. Previously, they were using the uh, they were using changes from geographical to functional areas. So now they are basically going to change their structure from geographical to functional areas, and with centralized inventory management and budgeting control by the US head office. So we know that there are different pros and cons of using the um, you can say that centralized businesses. It means that all the decision would made by the US head office, and all the rest of the departments or all the rest of the branches will be following the instruction of the US head office, they will be receiving in future. And it's especially about the inventory management, because they want to cut the cost, and budgeting control, because of course by using the budgeting we can cut the cost to some extent. So what happened in 2016? LC develops an enterprise resource plan to address the budgetary constraints. So it means that maybe their budgetary constraints were so high, and that's why they are going to plan they are going to do the resource plan, so that they can you can say that they can invest their resources according to needs, and they can somehow again cut the cost. So whatever they are doing, they are trying to cut the cost mainly, and they want to increase their efficiency. um so what happened from 17 to 18? So LC closes its least profitable labor intensive factories. So it means that it caused a lot of redundancies, and it may be um cause different other like industrial actions and different other things, and maybe they have to pay some compensation to those laborers. So whatever the things can happen if they basically if they close down their one of the branches. So what happened in 19? So LC reduced its product range. Okay. So decreasing the product range means that all they also want to cut the cost. So in short, why they close its least profitable business? Just because they want to cut the cost, because the demand is not increasing, because there has been reduction in the disposal incomes. Okay. Um, so what happened in 2020? LC invested in a new capital intensive factory funded by a bank loan. And in 2021, employee contracts are altered to improve the workforce flexibility. And in 2022, LC experiences a decrease in labor productivity and an increase in the labor turnover. Of course, um, because of their previous redundancies, maybe there are most of the employees, they lose security, and they maybe don't feel secure on their jobs, they don't feel any safety on their job, and that's why the labor turnover is increasing. And it is maybe because of the capital intensive factory. Okay, so now what are the current issues? So current issues in 2023 was that LC has faced significant challenges due to changes in its strategic direction and workforce management. Of course, their workforce management has been changed, we can see, and their strategic direction is also changed. A SWOT analysis reveals the loss of support from employees, particularly after strategy changes affecting them. And we know that whenever we are going to change the management, whenever we want to bring the change into the organization, so most of the employees will be resisting you. And this is the biggest example we can see in this case study. There has been a loss of skilled workers. And we can see that in 2020, there are a lot of the labor turnover is very high, leading to reduced output. And it may be just because of they were using the centralized decision making process. Like, it means that maybe the other employees don't have any right to say whatever they want, and they don't involve their employees to take the participation in the decision making process. There could be a lot of other reasons that why the employees are leaving. So there has been a loss of skilled workers, leading to reduced output and 30% decrease in the productivity. So it is a very big a percentage. So HR strategy and concern. So what happened here? HR strategy and concerns. So the first thing is that company must address the negative impact of recent changes on employee morale and productivity. So yes, so company must address the negative impact of recent changes on the employee morale and productivity. Of course, it means that the rest of the employees will be like their morale will be affecting. So loss of experienced workers in design and IT is particularly concerning and affects overall performance. The case highlights the challenges LC faces in balancing cost-cutting measures with maintaining employee support and the productivity. Okay. So the next question is about that we are going to evaluate the business performance between 14 to 2023, and can we like we are going to evaluate this on the financial and operational basis. So yeah. So first of all, let's talk about the financial performance of this business. So the first thing which was affected is gross profit margin. So we are going to evaluate its LC's financial performance. So we have the first information about the GP margin. So LC's GP margin is increased significantly from 40% to in 2014 to 60% in 2020. So this is the information you will see in the case study, but then dropped back to 40% in 2023. So this shows that LC was able to improve its cost management initially, possibly due to cost cutting measures and efficiency improvements. However, so this is my further analysis, or you can say the evaluation. This is my L3 analysis. So however, the decline in 2023 indicates that the company struggled to maintain this performance, which could be linked to the employee dissatisfaction and the decreased productivity. And we have the second thing, on these basis we can evaluate the efficiency of LC. And we have the operating profit margin, and I just extracted this information from the case. So operating profit margin fluctuated, starting at 5% in 2014, dropping to 4% in 2017, increasing to 8% in 2020, and then decreasing again to 6% in 2023. So while LC was able to improve its operational efficiency in 2020, this again fell in 2023, possibly due to higher cost or decreased revenue, reflecting the challenges in sustaining the profitability in the long run. And the third problem which we can see is rate of inventory turnover. So LC managed to significantly increase its inventory turnover from 12 times in 2014 to 24 times by 2020, and it's remained steady through 2023. This suggests that LC improved its inventory management, and we have seen that they were working for this. Likely due to enterprise resource plan implemented in 2016, despite these improvements, the gains in turnover did not fully translate into improved profitability after 2020. And we have the other information which is gearing. So you just need to extract at least three or four problems, but I have written the maximum so you can gain the maximum knowledge. It doesn't mean that you have to write this person to this much length. LC's gearing ratio increased from 40% in 2014 to 65% in 2020, and it's just because maybe they have taken the loan. um, if maybe you remember in the case in the summary, indicating a heavier reliance on debt. Although the company decreased its gearing slightly to 63% by 2023, it still remained relatively high. This suggests that LC has taken on significant debt, especially to finance capital investments like the new factory in 2020. While leveraging debt can be strategy for growth, the high gearing ratio poses a risk, particularly in a competitive and the volatile market. Okay, so now let's see the liquidity. So LC's current ratio remained stable at 1 into 1 between 17 to 2023, which indicates that the company has just enough assets to cover its short-term liabilities. However, the asset ratio improved from 0.4 into 1 in 2014 to 0.8 into 1 in 2020 and stayed at the level in 2023. While this suggests better liquidity management, it also indicates potential cash flow issues which could limit LC's flexibility in covering unexpected expenses or investments. We have the problem in dividend yield. So LC's dividend yield increased from 1% in 2017 to 5% in 2023. This shows that company has managed to reward its shareholder as promised by CEO John Pedro during his appointment. However, increased dividends may have come to an at the expense of reinvesting in the business, especially when product operation challenges persisted. Because we have seen that their productivity have fallen. Uh, so operational and strategic performance. So there are the structural changes. So LC shifted from a geographical to functional structure in 2015, centralizing inventory management and budgets. While this may have initially improved efficiency, it seems to have reduced the company's responsiveness to regional customer preferences, which could have contributed to the gross profit margin decline after 2020. So reduction in flexibility and autonomy in local markets may have hurt LC's competitiveness in both US and Europe. Cost cutting measures. So under John Pedro, LC implemented several cost-cutting measures such as closing less profitable factories from 17 to 18 and reducing its product range in 2019. While these actions likely contributed to the improved gross and operating profit margin in 2020, and they appear to have had long-term negative effects, including a drop in productivity and rising employee dissatisfaction by 2030. Capital investment. So LC's investment in a capital intensive factory in 2020 represents a shift towards automation, and while this may have improved short-term cost efficiencies, it seems to have alienated employees and reduced overall productivity down 30% compared to the projections. And the lack of investment in employee engagement and workforce development, coupled with changes to employee contracts in 2021, contributed to higher turnover and the dissatisfaction. And there are some problems in the HR employees relationship. So companies workforce flexibility strategy introduced in 2021 and has led to significant employee discontent. The new contracts, which reduced guaranteed working hours and removed bonuses, created job insecurity and faced many employees to seek the additional jobs. Feedback from employee highlights feelings of the disenfranchisement and dissatisfaction, which likely contributed in reduced productivity and high turnover in 2022. And now we are going to see the overall assessment. So, from 2014 to 2023, LC experienced initial improvements in financial performance. So, at the end, you have to do the overall assessment in your point of view whether they have showed you a kind of improvement or not. So, are you happy with the performance, with the financial performance or not? So, from 2014 to 2023, LC experienced initial improvements in financial performance due to cost cutting, efficiency measures, and strategic changes in its organizational structure. However, the heavy focus on financial performance and cost reduction led to significant employee dissatisfaction, reduced productivity, and a decline in profitability by 2023. LC's shift towards centralization and automation, while initially beneficial for the company's financial health, appears to have negatively affected its liability to maintain the high levels of productivity and product quality in the long run. So, in summary, LC's business performance showed early improvement but ultimately suffered from a lack of focus on human resources and employee engagement, and which are critical for sustaining long term growth and maintaining a brand's reputation for luxury. So, these are the things. Okay. So, we have this question number two. So, now let's see. Uh, so, in question number two, we have to we have to suggest a proper HR strategy, that which HR strategy would be useful for LC. So the first HR strategy I would recommend, like I will be recommending to the LC, is rebuild trust and improve employee relations. So involve employees in decision making. LC should actively involve employees in the decision making process, especially for changes that directly affect them, such as new contracts, work schedules, or production strategies. Establishing regular employee feedback sessions, town halls, or suggestions platform will give employees a voice, making them feel valued and part of the company's direction. This is the one thing. And the second thing is that they should do the transparent communication. So clear and consistent communication about the strategic changes and essential. Explain the rationale behind decisions like new contracts or factory closures. Employees need to understand how these changes will benefit both them and the company in the long run. And the second thing they can do is that they can revise the employee contracts and compensation. So removing all bonuses in 2021 has demotivated employees. So LC should reintroduce a performance-based bonus structure that rewards productivity, innovation, and loyalty. And this can include team-based or company-wide bonuses tied to key performance indicators. And they can also do this one more with this thing, that they shift from salary to time-based contracts, and the reduction of the guaranteed hours has created job insecurity, so contributing to higher turnover. So LC should consider increasing the guaranteed working hours or offering more stable contracts to key employees, and particularly those with specialized skills in design, IT, and whose loss is affecting the productivity. And we have the other thing, enhanced training and the career development. So LC has lost key design and IT staff, and this skill gap has contributed to 30% decrease in the productivity. Launching targeted training programs in design, IT, and other crucial areas can upskill current employees, helping to restore productivity and reduce turnover. So partner with technical institution or offer internal internship programs to develop the new talent. And employees need to see a clear path for career growth. LC should implement a structured career development plan with regular performance reviews, goal setting, and opportunities for promotions or lateral moves within the company. Employees who feel they can grow with the company are more likely to stay motivated and the committed. And there are other, you can see, the promote work life balance and flexibility, employee engagement and recognition programs. They can do all these things to, like as an HR strategy. They can do team building and social activities. They can do workforce planning and talent retention. We can just take the screenshot of these. So at the end, I will suggest uh, that which HR strategy they should implement. So I would suggest that implementing employee involvement in decision making would be more useful. So involving employees decision making, and now I have to justify that why, in my point of view, this is important. So involving employees in decision making, particularly when strategy changes directly impact them, is a powerful way to rebuild trust and enhance engagement. So by incorporating regular feedback sessions, town halls, and suggestions platform, LC can create a sense of ownership among employees, making them feel valued and heard. And this strategy can lead to several benefits. And we can have the other things also. And at last, I would say that if you want to make this strategy successful, so it depends upon these things. However, the strategy requires effective implementation, so LC must ensure that feedback mechanisms are genuine, not just token gestures, and that employees see their input being acted upon, and otherwise, this approach may backfire. Further, alienating staff. Additionally, while involving employees in decisions can increase engagement, and it may slow down the decision making process, which can be challenged in a fast paced competitive industry. So, this is it. This is for um, today. And yeah, so we have completed question number two also. So, just subscribe to my channel and share this video with your other friends. And the other thing is that I am going to announce my online classes. So if you are interested, so you can get enrolled, you can text me on my WhatsApp number. um, yeah, that's it. Goodbye.